Hello, 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 and welcome to another live stream by Virtual Flight Diaries. We are here in Mexico City with Aeromexico 777-200ER, and we're going to be flying her down to Toncontin. Tristan Rod, hey, welcome to the stream. Welcome aboard. How are you doing this afternoon? My A340 St. Helena's flight has inspired me to do some other sketchy landings with heavies. So we're here. Now, I know I'm not the first one to do a Toncontin flight in a heavy. I know a lot of other streamers have, but it is a first time for me. So we are going to give it a shot. I've never flown into Toncontin, either narrow body, wide body at all in the sim. So this should be interesting. We are live on the VATSIM network. We did have some ATC a minute ago, and just before I went live, they dropped. So maybe they'll come back on. I don't know, but we'll see. So there's a lot to get going. We're powering this up. So let's get on board and let's get this thing going. All right, so we're already on ground power and battery power initiated. So let's start some flows. All right, so we get the ADRs aligned. We can get the cabin and bypass utilities on. We'll get the window heats on, and emergency lights are armed. Inner service off. We will test the voice recorder. All right, so left forward pump on. We have the right electric on. Seatbelts go to auto. That looks good. Nav is on. Pretty automatic with the 777. All right, so that's all in. All right, yeah. So sorry for the delay. I was waiting for an Amazon package for actually one of my iPads for my Stream Deck, but it didn't arrive yet. So Mrs. VFD is going to bring it in when it gets here. So all right, so we are hooked up with the ground services. So let's get weight and balance all in. Actually, import you. And we'll import that. That's all good. All right. So we can now get to our FMC. So I did get a squawk code. So I'm going to put that in there before tower went offline. So I'm going to use that one. Two 272. We are TARA. You on, and what is this? CTAF is 118.4. And I'll get you in. There we go. He's on. Parking brake is set. All right, we'll come up here and we're gonna flight director on. Mine is master. Auto throttle is armed, pretty much armed for the whole flight. You only shut it off for abnormal conditions. And 15,000 is our first top on the SID. All right. Get that in here. We are MMX. And that checks. And we'll request route. Sim brief. We'll set payload. And we will set fuel. That should already been set from the EFB. We're actually going to get... So I'm not going to call refueling because that'll screw things up. Just GSX just doesn't play too well with this one. So we'll get boarding started because we got 278 passengers coming on board for this flight. All right. And route requesting. That's good. GSX. Let's see. Door management. All right. That entryway is closed. Make sure that they're all opening. Good, good, good. Baggage is coming up. And that is ready. Load you up. All right, so we are Aeromexico 556, and the route is good. Activate you. And we'll go departure. So the ATIS that we had before tower dropped was 23. So we're going to go 23 right for departure. And we're going to do the ILIT 2 Bravo. Get you in there. And arrival into Toncontin, we're going to be doing the RNAV 2 approach. TNT. Star. Looking at the Lipa 1 Bravo. Lipa 1 Bravo. It's the Lipic transition, so that's just part of the star. Okay, so that's in. So we are... check our legs. We stepped on through. That's our SID. That looks good. Zoom out. Keep stepping on through. And there's our star. So we'll zoom back in to check that out. It's a big circle. I'll show you guys. Let's zoom out a little bit. So we're going to come in here and make a big circle around the city and come in runway 2. There's another one where you come in out over the mountain and you come in runway 20. But we're going to do the big circle. And then we have our missed approach that should be in there. All right. That looks good. All right, perf init. Since we have everything loaded up, we can get this in here. There's 17,000 on the reserve. That looks good. Going up to flight level 410. All right, let's get some takeoff calculations in here. All right, we'll take a 23 right. It is dry conditions, so I import you from the aircraft. There we go. And we'll import the weather. All right, so we got takeoff 2 with a select temperature of 33. Let's see here. What is our outside temp? 16C, so that's good. All right, 35353538 and a returning VREF of 130. All right, so we'll select takeoff 2, 33. So you always want to do the first D rate, the takeoff D rate here, and then put the select in. If you do it the other way around, it's going to delete the select temperature. All right, so we got flaps 5. Our CG is in 4.5. Let's look here, 4.5. So, all right, we don't have to go very far. And 35, 35, 38, that all checks. So that is in. Put the legs page up on you. Let's run some checklists. Oxygen is checked. Flight instruments are heading 326, 326. And altimeter is 3034. That checks. So that's good. And we'll do the before start checklist. So let's take off briefing. Yeah, I was pretty fast with boarding. 10-9. There we go. All right, so we're taking off runway 23 right. Looks pretty simple taxi. There is a hot spot here at Echo 2, though there doesn't seem to be a lot of traffic here today. So we're going to go Bravo all the way out to the end and get on 23 there. For our departure, Sid, we're looking at Major issues would be our terrain. So we're looking at high altitude terrain of upwards of 13,000. So we're going to take off 23. It's going to come out here. We're going to be above 10,000 at MX. You see, they seem high, but we're already high. We're already at 7,300 feet. So we should have no problem making that cutoff. And then max speed of 210 and below 15,000 at MX540. Below 18.5 at 541. And below flight level 200 at Muxon. And we could speed up to 250 going out for the rest of our SID. We could climb out being below flight level 290 at Aledo. So that's our SID departure. I got no other threats or restrictions. Any questions? Nope. Good. All right. Let's get buttoned up and let's get out of here. All right, so we will close all doors. Get the APU fired up. All right, flight attendants, close doors and arm doors and cross check. All right, all the doors are armed. Ground vehicles, we can release all. And then ground connections, we're just waiting for the APU to fire up. One of the indicators is, well, you can actually go to the page. I think it's the electrics. That's right, stats. You can watch the APU fire up. And we check the secondary external power goes to avail. It automatically cuts out. Yeah, we killed all that, and we can disconnect everything. All right, so we release ground power. We're going to release the jetway. It's a very large jetway. All right, parking brake is set, so we can remove the chocks. And that's that. 230. Oop, my dog's barking. It's Amazon delivery guys here. Awesome. All right, so beacon light can come on. Here. Counterclockwise out. Fuel pumps can come on. We have 0 fuel in the center, so the center pumps are off. We can go to the next checklist. 4-star checklist. MCP is set and checked. Takeoff speeds 353538. Pre-flight CDU is complete. Trims are set. Taxi takeoff briefing complete. beacon light is on before taxi checklist. All right, let's push. Benito Juarez traffic. Aeromexico 556 heavy, pushing back gate 22. Facing right. I hit that button. Ah, well, there was no juice sounds yet. Well, we got some on the startup because we got the Boris sound pack on this baby. Yeah, we're rocking the GEs. The GEs are my favorite engine. Everyone's got their picks, whether it's the Rolls Royce, the Pratts, or the GEs. Mine are the GEs because they're the biggest of the engines. UPS parked down there. Nice. I'll hook it up. Go nose right, tail left. V2 plus 20 here. All right, let's fire them up. Turn on engine 2. Those sounds are wild. Hey. It's Mrs. VFD, everybody. All right, we'll take care of that cruise. All right. Parking brake. All right, turning engine 1. That's a good start on 2. Start on engine 1. All right, so anti-ice will be off. Recall. It is checked. Auto brake RTO. Flight deck controls. All right, so we got full forward, full back, full left, full right, neutral, rudder pedals, full right, center, full left, neutral, flight controls check complete, ground equipment is clear. All right, before takeoff, flaps 5. Get the lights up. All right, before takeoff, checklist complete. And after takeoff checklist. All right. Put the engine displays on for departure, and let's taxi out. Bonito, where is traffic? Aeromexico 556 Heavy taxiing to runway 23 right via Bravo. Where is? All right, let's go. Brakes off. Rolling. No. Now the VNAV can be armed. VNAV unavailable. We forget a step. Yeah, all right. Alright, cabin is ready. We can actually kill the APU. The cabin is ready. APU is cooling down. Passenger signs are on. Auto brake, RTO, doors on auto. Good, good, good. We're all set. We are ready for takeoff. I want to welcome everybody aboard today for this flight, and thank you for all tuning in. If you're just tuning in, we're going to be taking the 777 down to Toncontin and finally doing a Toncontin stream on the channel. I know a lot of streamers have done it already, but now it is VFD's turn to try to bring a heavy into that. Very short runway. Got 6,600 foot runway and pretty much a mountain bowl. I was able to bring a A340 in on St. Helena at 6,200 feet. And I've never seen it done before, so I think I might be the first to do St. Helena. There is a challenge out there for me to do St. Helena's in a 777, but I think if we could do Toncontin in a 777, I think we can do St. Helena's. Whereas traffic, Aeromexico 556 heavy, taking off runway 23 right, and let it to Bravo departure. Whereas.
Mexico City traffic, Quark 320, pushing back from gate Sierra 8, expecting runway 05 left, Mexico.
Oh, he's going the other way. Probably because there's no tower on. So the last Hey Lip, welcome to the stream and chat. Sound like that guy was doing radio calls from a cave. He could have been. He could have been. Can't judge how people live. Alright, spool him up 50. Clear for takeoff. Let's go. Toga. Knots.
V1.
Take.
Livery.
All right, pause the rate, gear up. Seem to want to canter pretty good into that 4-knot wind. That was weird. So we'll get autopilot could come on for now. Whereas traffic, Aeromexico 556 Heavy passing at 10-9 on the Alette 2B departure last call. Juarez. All right, so all right, so if you land this, then the challenge changes. You have to take off from St. Helena's in a 777. Okay. All right. I got you. All right. So, flaps up. Come on. Come on. What are we doing here? Why have we not gone into VNAV? Oh, that's right. So for some reason, VNAV is weirded out. I don't know why. economy descent. So cruise is correct, but we don't have any. So I had a problem with the other day when I took off from Kona. Evidently, my thrustmaster yoke needed recalibrating. I thought it was the wind, but it was the yoke going 7 degrees to the right. I wonder if my rudder pedals need to be calibrating that yaw. I honestly, truly don't know how to fix this. That is what I was going to ask you when you were taking off there. Yeah. Yeah. Figured it out. I have I use the MFT crosswinds, so they're pretty good. I could look at an update. All right, so my VNav is all jacked. Why? Yeah, beginning of the summer. So they're fairly new. What was it now? Springtime, somewhere around there. Because I had the Turtle Beach ones, and they literally snapped. It's all programmed in. Earth VNav unavailable. I have never encountered this before. This is going to make this flight even more interesting if I have to do this whole thing manually. Sorry, I missed it. What are you encountering? Yeah, so my VNAV, performance VNAV is unavailable. So I have no VNAV speeds. I've never encountered it before, and therefore I have no idea how to fix it. Right now I'm climbing out on flight level change. That's it. That's all in there, like that's showing up. I'm not getting any my VNAV readouts. I think we just came alive. How did that get... There we go. How did that get... How did that get messed up? Well... That is very strange. I don't need that much. All right, we're back in business now. Somehow, some way, that all got deleted. I had put that in there. I wouldn't have been able to calculate my takeoff if I didn't. All right, so it says something incorrect or missing. Cruise altitude, we'll do that. Alright, insufficient fuel. I fixed the reserves. I don't need that much reserves. We're not coming back. It's all or nothing. Alright. Now we can just climb out. Alright, so let's fix this thing up. We got... After takeoff checklist is complete. So we troubleshoot it and fixed our problem. Visionary, go left hand side, engine, back to MD, and click center. That way we have our engine gauges here, but this is open for checklists and everything else. I did it too fast. I know I've showed this a couple times, but what you do is go down here to the inboard display and you switch it over to a revisionary mode of ECAS. So what it does is changes. So if this screen was to go out, we could actually get the engine instruments over here. Switch this over to left-hand side, so now it's commanding this panel to command this. And we just click engine. Puts the small engine grouping here, and then we can just send it back over to the MFD. And there you go. But you got to remember to put it back onto command center, or we'll be commanding this screen. I learned a while back it's usually user error and not the plane. I totally agree. If this was anything other than a PMDG aircraft, I would say it was not mine. I did something wrong. I definitely agree with that. Alright, seatbelt signs can come off. You are free to move about the cabin. Let's clean up some lights here, since we were all in heads down mode. But everything else seems to be rocking and rolling. All right, we're back in business. Back in business. Poor sounds, man. Oh, one other thing, guys, I didn't show you guys is because this is a Boris audio sound pack. If you want, you can go noise canceling, but it's very powerful noise canceling. There's like zero engine noise. But it's the comms panel down here. You click on flight, turn that on. You get my sound levels adjusted so we're not killing everybody. All right, so how's everybody doing? Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. All right, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Especially if you like 777 stuff and heavy wide body operations into runways we shouldn't be going into. Mrs. VFD did drop off a package for me. Instead, I was going to set that up in cruise. It's not in flight sim. It's actually streamer stuff. It's a stand for my one of my iPads. It's ahead. The other day, the other stream on Friday, I kept hitting my Stream Deck and there was a window up. So you have both sims, 20 and 24, right? No, since June, I have completely gone 2024. No, I do not have 2020 anymore. My question is, how hard is it to keep Phoenix in both sims? Not hard at all, actually. The installer for any updates installs into both sims. I think the bigger issue is for livery developers, because the 2020 livery and the 2024 livery have different pathing, so it's difficult for them to make liveries for both. They have to almost like do separate things. That's why Bullet Airways is kind of taken so long, because Whiskey Throttle is doing both 2020 for me as well as 2024. No longer accidentally hit a button. Sending arbitrary screens up over land. All right, so yeah, that goes for the same for iFly. Yeah, so that's becoming a major problem because they're not compatible, right, Asobo? They're not compatible, not completely. All right, so let's see if any other ATC has popped up. Nope. It was a bummer. I was actually hoping to get some. I've never used VATSIM's ATC in Mexico. I was hoping to actually get to talk to some Mexican controllers. That's another thing too. So the Hawaiian stream, and I want to first apologize those that, especially those that were flying with me. I had to cut that one short. Probably wasn't the best idea to stream the day after the holidays. My phone was just blowing up needed me to do this, do that. There was still family over. So I do apologize for only doing one leg, promising two. But the Bronco said, yeah, so you're like me and you paid for a lot of third-party airports and sceneries in 2020. Yeah, and that's the sucky part, because the devs, they don't want to go through the process. So even the 2024 model, what do they call it? Assets are different. How could you sit there? You had to know. You had to know that it wasn't going to work. Why did you sit there and say? Because you wanted everyone to go to 2024 and spend that money to go to 2024. This is going out there, and there's probably going to get some hate mail, but you wanted everybody to go to 2024. So you sat there and looked us all in the face and said, hey, 2020 is going to be compatible with 2024. So everything you got in 2020, you're good to go with 2024 day one. So buy it. Right? That was bad, Mark. That was a bad move. So now I'm spending money to buy 2024 products when I've already purchased them for 2020. And also, you know, when a developer updates. Now, a lot of guys like Phoenix and Flight, Just Flight, have been awesome, and they've done free upgrades if you had the 2020 version. But a lot of devs are going, hey, we had to put so much work to make this work for you in 2024 that we have some overhead, so we have to charge you an upgrade fee. PMDG has been good for the 777 and for the 777, since it was already optimized in 2020, I think they said. It didn't take much for them things, so they gave it for free. And but the NGs, they had to do so much rework, and it's pretty much going to be a 2024 complete native aircraft that they are going to have to charge an upgrade fee. So a lot of people got screwed on that. So we're also going to have to, we're going to have to pay for the PMDG 737 again. Now, if you purchased it already for 2020, they said it's not going to be a lot to upgrade it. So I'm thinking $15-20 per plane, because we all know how PMDG works, and that's their pay model. Not going to knock how a company wants to operate. They can operate any way we want. But yeah. You know, I wouldn't mind paying 2 or 3 per airport for an airport upgrade in 2024. Yeah, and that would be reasonable. But unfortunately, I think there's so much work that needs to be done that these devs are paying their developers to fix this stuff, that it's ending up being, you know, $4 or $5, you know, upwards of $10 for the upgrade. Now, any builds has been good. It's been, I think, $5 for the upgrades. So they're trying. So I'm not knocking the devs. This is not a knock the devs kind of thing. This is a sort of a little bit of a knock on Asobo. And I know they've apologized, but guys, These Boris sounds are so loud. I keep turning my own sounds down. Makes you want to learn how to design and code airport scenery. Right? That is just a talent that is beyond mine. I tried back in 2020 and I almost kind of figured it out. I did do one texture in 2020. We had a VFD Duke, black square Duke in VFD colors, but it upgraded. The Dukes got upgraded and the texture got messed up, and I didn't know how to fix it. So scenery design, texture designing is beyond my skill level. Those guys have a lot of talents that I don't have. Sure, if I found some really good tutorial videos and sat down and learned about the pathing and the coding of the model files and everything like that, so that they path right. Because I could do the actual textures. Like, I have Photoshop, I have all that skills. It's the pathing to make all this come together that is foreign to me. Because I even played around with Blender for a little bit too to try to learn, and I could get the plane all colored up. I just couldn't get it to come into the sim. All right, so I'm glad we got the VNAV sorted out, because that would have made coming into this airport about 1,000 times more difficult. But since this is just a challenge flight and not a real world flight, we would have done it. We would have done it. I wasn't canceling the stream because of VNAV not working. We're pilots. Figure it out. Well, we're virtual pilots. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier. Get a stamp and a thing. So what I had was my iPad was laying flat on the desk over here, and when I was doing things like laying checklists down and picking them up and everything like that, it's an iPad, so if my finger brushed one of the keypads for my Stream Deck, it was popping up windows and doing weird stuff. I think the one stream, it actually popped me back into my intro screen, so now it's up and out of the way. But we are looking good. Coming down the east coast of Central America. This is a nice livery. I like this one. The bare metal Aeromexico. So the Brazier sure will be pretty funny when AI figures out how to do it all faster and easier for humans. So are you doing the RMP North? Yes, 02. That's what the weather is dictating. I kind of wanted to do the RNAV runway 20 because it's a crazier approach. I mean, they're both crazy approaches, especially for this airplane. But the crazier one is the runway 20 approach. But I don't know. What are the winds? Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that tailwind. Not with this runway. We'll overrun it. So we want to be... All right, so we're going to go over... Well, we got a little ways yet. I won't do the brief just yet. But it's still a pretty spicy approach. We'll be kind of descending down through in between the mountains and there's terrain all around, so and it's saying weather's VFR, so we'll just go visual at the last moment for the turn in on the runway. There is no such thing as a low IFR approach into Toncontin, just due to terrain. So I've only done the 02 from the south. Okay. I've never done any of them, so I've only watched it on TV. Watched the pilots who do it for a living, like V1 and full flap simulations, and those guys have to go around and it was difficult for them. So definitely going to be prepared for a go around. Another good approach is in a Monterey. Yeah, I don't think I've done Monterey either. We haven't flown too much in Mexico. We did in Mexico and South America. I mean, I did a couple. I think I did an A300 stream in to what's the name of that airport? MMG, I think. But this should be fun. Just like the St. Helena's one was fun. So really liking these challenge landings. I mean, no offense to anyone, it's not that hard to put an A320 down in Detroit. The cool one is doing stuff like this. Oh, so I was going to start to say earlier that we're not going to be doing AI ATC for a while. The Friday stream proved to me that my VATSIM skills have gotten weak, and I blame it on AI ATC. So we are going back to full VATSIM. We used to do VATSIM every stream, so we're going back. Gotta work the muscles to get them useful again. My radio calls are atrocious, in my opinion. And of course, I had to go back to get some stutters. I had to go back to stutter right there. I don't know what that is. We go back to Sim Update 3. We'll dial that back. Right, it's using the Copilot that and it, you know, it gets to be so convenient to just click the Copilot. But I want to get back into to get my radio calls back up. So, and I didn't need AI ATC to, you know, I was fairly confident in using VATSIM. Even came up with my own tips and tricks to kind of make things easy, and yeah, there was nothing. I was very comfortable with it, and we're gonna get back into it. We're gonna try to we're gonna try to stream in areas of ATC, that sort of stuff, so we can get back into thing and build that muscle memory back up, and then we're gonna try some more difficult. We'll wait till like LAX is on full or JFK is on full, and then we'll give ourselves a real good test. But seriously, you know, I called into Honolulu approach with, you know, I was at 16,000 feet, and I was like, flight level, blah, blah, blah. And I choked that out, and I'm like, oh, this is horrible. I do both, but I only use Copilot AI in the cruise. That's actually pretty good. Once you're up and or only put Copilot AI on if you have to walk away from the computer for whatever reason. That's the only benefit that I've had is to be I could see with AI ATC is you still get the AI or the ATC immersion, but it also allows you to walk away from the computer for longer lengths of time. You know, not just, hey, I got to go 10 minutes and I'll be back. So that's an idea. That's a good idea, actually. Oh, and I was hoping Holden would be on. I was going to thank him personally. That video that he posted in the Discord was probably the best teaching video for landing a A320 that I've ever seen. And I've watched V1, I watched everybody else. And I watched a 30-minute video with this guy, and I shaved 150 feet per minute easily off my landing. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. I was just hoping to thank him personally. Because that guy broke it down step by step through each phase of the landing that I've never seen before. But like I posted that picture in Discord of Volanta, and you guys have all seen me, you know, crushing it in with the A3 or the Airbuses, you know, 300 plus. Syracuse was horrible with a bounce, and that came over as 600, although I don't think it was 600 though. The Delta said 4. We're going to go with Delta A cars, which was like 484 or something like that. But 114 from watching this video. I went from crushing it into the runway to in the touchdown zone, 114. So the Brocketeer says he sent me a message the other day. Both our streamers we watch are going to learn how to fly new planes. Cool. Said, thank God we still have virtual flight tires. I saw that Captain Flight Sim. He streamed his last stream the other day for a while. Where they're going off to ground school. We got V1 in ground school. We got, or in type school. I guess now Captain Flight Sim's on going to type school. Yeah, you guys can come watch me. I'm not going anywhere. It's going off to learn how to fly the Embraer 175. Well, I've watched his streams. He's definitely ahead of the game. He already knows how to fly a simulated 175. Yeah, so I don't know what next week's gonna hold. Well, we're definitely flying. I just don't know what. Since Sim Update 4 beta broke, and I'm back in 3. I mean, we got more planes opened up because a lot of them were busted with the update. I am missing Sim Update 4's performance though, but it was just. So they just recently updated, I think it was Friday they updated it, and it was just micro stutter. I even got some micro stutters here. I don't know what's going on. I might have to dump my cache again. But yeah, I really want to get, so there's been a lot of updates to the A350, so maybe we'll fly the A350 next week. Put it out there. I would really like to see a small single engine flight. We have options there. Small single engine. So we've got the Bonanza. We've got the A2A Comanche. Actually, I think that's it. We got the Bonanza and the A2A Comanche. For study level. Do the Bonanza, the black square Bonanza, but to make it more interesting, I'll drop my very expensive GTN XI and we'll do VOR to VOR on network. Yeah, I see. I don't know how to fly any of those planes, and I'd like to learn. Mainly the startup and throttle controls. You know what? We're gonna do Bonanza, VOR to VOR, / alpha on network. That'll be fun. And it'll be a test of my ATC skills because it's really easy to just go direct here. Well, I can't. But yeah, no problem. We could do Bonanza. I like the Bonanza actually. The only thing is both Bonanza and A2A are not well, this is flight sim. What am I thinking? I was gonna say we'll do northeast, and that's not rated for known icing conditions, but if it's snowing up here, we'll just go to Florida. Duh. So this is crazy, but I'm going to buy 2024 just for GA flying with Holden and maybe you. You're very welcome to fly along. Hell, we could do flights off stream too. That would be fun. You don't always have to be on stream. But yeah, the GA stuff in 2024 is fantastic. And if you're gonna, and I would suggest picking up the Black Square Bonanza or even the Baron for some twin engine stuff. They're two great planes. And they're high fidelity, so definitely a lot of user error issues there with failures and stuff like that. So you can really learn the systems for those planes. But yeah, I mean, we could fly off stream too. We can use VFD's Discord to talk back and forth. I'd be fun. I have some voice channels in there with lots of dust on them. I'm good with that. Yeah, and that'd be cool too. It's like, especially if you're learning small planes. We could help you along too. That's good. I'm surprised that Nightbot did pick up on that. I think I allow a lot of caps. No, it's okay. You were excited. You were excited about flying along in the single engines. Yeah, I got that little skip right about there. I don't know why. It's usually, for me, when I get the little micro stutters like that, where everything's smooth until I move around, that's usually, for some reason, that's my cache overloaded. So... I mean, I have a high I have a high setting on my cache, but I'm in this sim a lot, so I'm not sure how many hours I have. It's well over 1,500 in this sim. What GPU do I have? I have a RTX 4070 Ti Super. It's the overclocked 16 gig. So every now and then I go in a NVIDIA and dump my shader cache there too. You know what? It's been a long time since I've done that. Good call. Good call. That could be it too. I do dump that, but not as often as my my other caches that I have. The shader cache, yes, that could cause the micro stutters as well. Plus, I do take a hit streaming all this stuff, because I stream everything from a single PC, which does take up resources. That's why next year when I build my 5090 rig, I'm taking the PC that I have, that I use right now, and turning it into a streaming PC. So I'll have zero resources taken up for the actual sim. It'll be just the sim. Real professional stuff right there. That way I could stream in 2K and 4K. Well, I can't stream in 4K because I don't have a 4K monitor, I don't think. There's where the professionalism goes away. I have no idea if that's a thing. I think because I'm only outputting 2K, I think I can only stream in 2K. But if I had a dedicated streaming computer, I could stream in 2K. So you guys can see the cool stuff that I'm seeing without the HD compression. Although I think the stream looks good. Hopefully the channel grows so big you'll have to get an office like V1. Well, I already have an office in my house. So I think the reason V1 had to get an office, right, was because he couldn't get good internet at his house. In both his Atlanta location and back in Dallas again, he still couldn't get good internet to stream, so he had to get an office. I believe that was the reason. But if I get so big, I still want the convenience of getting up in the morning and just coming into my household office, though. Yeah, and I think it was more like a getaway from the wife and kids for a while. Probably. probably. Hopefully the channel grows. I'd like to see it there. I'd like to be part of that flight sim community. See, so the big thing is so it's not growing the channel to the point where I get free stuff. Like, hey, look at me, I got free stuff. What it is what I want to be able to do is get big enough that the developers are okay with sending me early release copies so that I could learn the plane and present it to you guys before it's released. That's my goal, is to be able to present the planes that are releasing before they're released, so that I could when NDAs lift and everything like that. That's not my goal, is to be able to bootleg and ruin that. That's a good way to end up in court. But just to be able to showcase planes for you guys before it comes out, so that everybody can get, and I could teach, because I like teaching. When I have knowledge about something, I like teaching it, and that way I can learn it and have the leg up, so that when it's released, you guys can watch one of VFD's videos and be like, hey, we know how to fly this thing already, so we can hop in our sim right on day one and bang it out. That's my goal. Free stuff, the whole super chat things, all that stuff, that's all there. And if anyone wants to donate to the channel, they're more than welcome to. I'm not going to stop them, but I'm also not going to beg for that stuff. That's not what VFD's channel is going to be either. It can't be about the money and the free stuff. It's got to be the enjoyment. If you like doing this, the genuine streamer usually does it very well. Yes. I have a full-time job, so I don't need to make money off of YouTube. I have a full retirement coming, so I don't even need to make money after retirement. I do this because I like flying Flight Simulator, and I'll be honest with you. You know what prompted me? So here it is. Here's the real reason why the VFD channel started. So I started watching when Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 came out. I started watching YouTubers, pretty much to learn the planes. Great resource to learn how to fly a plane, a new plane in the sim. I actually started watching a guy called A320 Sim Pilot. Is it something like that? A320 Pilot or something? It's a guy from England. And I found V1's channel. Started watching V1. Really liked his content. I, subscribed, became a member, and I'm like, you know what? I like, the draw of the community. I liked, flying, chatting, and I'm like, I want that too. So that's what prompted me to start the channel. Was V1 actually. He didn't personally have guitar, but it was his inspiration that started the channel. So I'm like, you know what? I want that community. So yeah, A320 Sim Pilot. So when Fly-by-Wire came out, I used his channel. He did a lot on tutorials on how to fly the A320 Fly-by-Wire. I think he just hit 100K subscribers, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, he left. He was an A320 pilot. And he's now a 787 first officer. Same with the I don't watch his channel too much, but I do catch it every once in a while. I think he's A330 driver. He's a German first officer. He used to be a 737 captain, and he went over to Airbus. But some of his stuff was he's a little, you can get a little rammy sometimes, especially with VATSIM. But he's full of knowledge too, so I watch his stuff every once in a while. But V1 was the inspiration for Virtual Flight Diaries. So I hope to build that kind of community. Yeah, I watch him too. His channel's a little slow. Yeah. He just started streaming again. He was doing videos. But it's good to actually subscribe to a bunch of different YouTubers, because that way you can get the whole picture. So, you know, V1 has a certain way of teaching a plane. You know, full flap simulations. He's a 737 guy. He had a certain way of teaching a plane. But if you also get, so it's not wrong to want to get in on the thing. Like I subscribe to XP. He's not a pilot. You know, Two-Tone Murphy. He's not a pilot. You get a different perspective of the plane. And sometimes it's good to get the pilot perspective of the plane, and then see how the simmer that's not a pilot is handling the plane too. And that way you can get a really good picture. A320 driver, I found myself saying, get to the point already. Captain Canada, I was watching him yesterday. He was flying the A340 to, or not the A340, he was flying the Bravo 787 to Dublin. He does a lot of long hauls. You got to catch Captain Canada all next week. He's going to be showcasing the NGs. He's got the PMDG 737s and the NDAs lifted, so he said he's going to be streaming it all next week. But yeah, Captain Canada's a good one too. VFD channel, that's a good one. So yeah, so I wanna build. It's been slow, and I don't care. I don't care that it's been slow. Still gonna keep on going, and hopefully one day we'll get enough, and we'll make my goals happen. Hopefully. He's getting older, and he's become my get off my lawn type of guy, though. I didn't pick up on that. But I guess, yeah, now that you put it out there. But still a good show. I even started watching a streamer called Mickey Mike. It's a different style of live stream. And I watch Owls and Blue Games. I watch all these guys. Like I said, the more you watch these guys, the more you get a different perspective of the plane. They each have their own styles, and I could see where some of them might not be for everybody, but come on now, he's crotchety. Yeah. I watch YouTube more than I watch regular television as well. Definitely. Come on, let's face it. You know, streamers are more entertaining than TV anyway. All right, so a couple more minutes. We'll brief our approach. We're probably going down in about 15 minutes. Let's just double check on how things are going in here. We've been outside the cockpit for quite a while. Yeah, 175. So we got, let's see, what time is it? 19:55. 20 minutes. A couple more minutes. But I liked doing the tutorial videos, and they've gotten a lot of great feedback. But the big problem is my time. So for me to put a video together, because I'm not great at it, and in order for me to put a workable video together, it takes me the whole day. And I really do like streaming a lot better than grinding and cutting and editing videos, because I'm not good to get it to any kind of presentable thing. I have to do more than one take. Where a stream, you screw up, you move on. It's live. But yeah, so like I've been working on the 727 tutorials, and it's just been put on a back burner because of time. And the longer it takes, the longer it becomes less relevant. Other people have put out decent tutorial videos already, and if you kind of miss that window, it really starts to fall into the back seat sort of thing. Well, you're the only one arriving in Toncontin. All right, well, that's good. That way we can mess up. Not have to worry about traffic on top of that. Try to take a 777 in here. Because this is definitely an Airbus kind of 737 kind of airport. All right, so let's brief our approach. All right, so we got arrivals. Should have just pinned these. So we're coming in on the Star. Which one are we taking now? The Leap PA. I think that's this one. Yep. Leapbacks. Yep. All right. All right. So coming in, the starter descent at Leapbacks, we're going to be above 12,000. We're going to be above 10,000 at TG051, and TG050 got to be above 9,000, and above 8,000 at TNT. Due to this terrain, the terrain issues that are going to be are a problem. So we're going to come into TNT, and then we're going to come out here on the RNAV and loop around descending in. So let's take a look. So the bigger one is going to be the approach. We're doing the RMP north. And can we go full screen here? Yes. All right, so RNAV, final approach course is 20. Our descent, our initial approach fix is at TG 1.4. It'll be at 6,767 or 76 feet with a decision altitude of 4,429 feet, which is 1,141 feet above the airport elevation. Airport elevation is 3,307. So let's brief the missed approach. Missed approach, we're going to climb and intercept the lateral navigation, maintaining RMP track, maximum speed of 175 knots, and then re-engage LNAV at TG 11. So where is TG 011? So we're going to go to Melvo. According to the map. I don't understand this. Climb and intercept lateral navigation, maintain RMP track, max 175 knots, re-engage. I don't know by re-engage. Oh, so we can hand fly this until we re-engage the LNAV here. I don't know why you would do that. But anyway. Alright, so 7,000 at TG 15. So we got 7,000 here. And then we're going to be descending incrementally down to here, which is our final here. So we should be visual by TG 11. We don't see the runway by then, but it's VFR conditions, so we should be able to capture the runway coming in on this approach right here. And once we go visual, we'll hand fly the rest of the way. All right, terrain is consideration. Weather is not. So, any questions? If we're not stable by 500, okay, mark that words. If we're not stable by 500, we're going around. So we still have 114 miles to go. Kept it at 20. That checklist. Let's get it all out of the way. Recall is checked. No notes. Auto brake. Brake 3. Go to, we'll put it on 3. We'll go max manual if needed. Landing data. Let's get that in. I always forget this with the Boeing. It's in, and then approach briefing is complete. So that's all good. And we got our VNAV sorted out from earlier. We are good to go to bring this beast in to the 6,600 foot runway. I don't even know if I want to do a landing calculation. Let's just see it. -30. No anti-ice will be needed. So it's saying we can't. Well, we're going to ignore it because I've seen it done. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. If we crash, we crash. That's fun, a flight sim. Just like the St. Helena's. It didn't look like we'd be able to do it. We were able to do it. So I think it's being conservative. So let's see. I'll go back to the chat here. So you were talking earlier about flying the A320 into Detroit. It's not a big deal. But 2 weeks ago, I flew in there during an event. There must have been 50 people flying into that airport. Well, see, you flew into that around the world event. That's a situation that makes it challenging. Like, also, Holden was beating himself up over the Honolulu calls he was making as well. I still think he did just fine. So, hey, River TTS, hey, welcome to the stream. Hello, I'm currently doing a 2-hour flight in MS2024. I'm currently 1 hour in. Awesome. Awesome. Where are you flying to? Dallas, it's a big airport, Dallas. No, that's cool. That's cool. What are you flying? So it's 80 miles out. I'm going to put our bottom of the descent in here for VNAV. A320neo, cool. I can't wait for the A320neo, the A320 and the A321. I think Phoenix is doing. They're neos. I can't wait for them to come out. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. When 2020 came out, the fly-by-wire A320, that free one, was my bread and butter for the sim. So there's no need. You are not uncool because you use a free plane. I fly a lot of free planes. One of my favorite planes to fly in the sim is the DC-3. That's free. Worries about that. You're flying to DFW Dallas because you live near there? That's why I fly a lot into Philadelphia. I don't want to be cool and I don't want to be uncool. You do you, River. You do you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, we don't have any money either. We spend it all on flight sim. Yes. It's a balance between spending my money on flight simulator and staying married. So far, I've been doing good. This Christmas, I'm gonna get a new plane. What do you think of getting? What this music is. Ugh. Maybe I'm just old. There you go. Getting about 2 planes, but I don't want to check right now. Okay. Now that's cool. You're like flying the Airbus. You can't go wrong with Phoenix. It's been said by several real world pilots on their streams that it's the closest simulation to the real plane that you can get in flight sim. So. The A340 and something else. The A340 is a nice piece of kit. Flown it a couple times on the streams here, and on my own. Yeah, it's been a pretty good mainstay to the channel. I think I did like three flights with it. The A350 is a good one too. I don't know what rig you have though. If your computer's not, I struggle with it on my computer. So, well, there's been a couple updates. So they said they've optimized it better. The A340 runs great. When you got Microsoft 20, you were so excited. Yes. Yes, considering I was coming from P3D to that sim, it was like, wow. You wish you could have full graphics like mine? I mean, I don't have top of the line. My box is pretty mediocre compared to a lot of other ones. You know, and I run a lot of mods, so I'm running like auto FPS, and you know, I'm running DLSS, frame gen. If I was to go basic on this thing, I wouldn't even be able to stream. So. So we're coming to our top of descent real soon. We got 20 some miles left. I'm going to bring her down to 40 for our descent. What is the transition altitude? So transition is flight level 200. To the descent page, and it should be an option to put the transition there. That's the speed transition. I guess not. It's not an Airbus. Oh, there's the transition altitude. That's for climb. I guess we don't put it in here. This is the Airbus. Oh, forecast. Maybe the forecast? Yeah. All right, so that's already in. Well, so many planes, it's hard to keep track of how each nuance. So there's the forecasted winds. All right. So you're at descent now. My longest MSFS flight was 12 hours. So the longest flight I ever did was in FSX, was Newark to Hong Kong, and it was like, I want to say like 14 hours was my longest flight. New York is such a beautiful place. Yeah, it's hell in the sim. My frames dropped to nothing in 2020. That's why you don't see me fly into New York too often. Because I can't stream it. Ethiopia to South Africa for me. Oh, okay. That's a long flight too. But we're going to try New York with Sim Update 4 because they got it's actually not too bad now with the optimization in Update 4, but we're going to wait until like I said, I rolled back to 3 because it broke too many planes. My plane just lagged. That'll happen. As long as you don't crash the desktop, you're good. You're doing good. All right, we're starting down. Did it on Flight Sim Captain's stream with him. We had a control on the ground at Addis Ababa. See, that's cool. I really got to. Oh, well, really? It flung itself. Wow, that's not good. But I really want. So I do have. I'm not confident with ATC outside the U.S. I'm really fairly confident with U.S. operations, but outside the U.S., I've always been a little skittish about doing VATSIM, and I really need to. We need to do like something out of London or something like that on stream, kind of break me out of that. I'm changed flights now. I guess I'll be right back. All right. No worries. See you when you get back. When you get a chance, go back and find that stream. Watch it. It's funny. Yeah, so I've been starting to, because I just joined his channel, so I've been starting to scroll through his stuff. So I'll probably get there. Terrain in Central America is wild. The controllers in Europe are pretty nice and easy. That's good to know, because the controllers in the United States can sometimes be a real bear to deal with. So River says, I honestly happy because I finally found a person that streams MSFS. There's a bunch of us out there, River, but thank you and welcome to the channel. I just did a flight from California to DFW. Awesome. Did you join a virtual airline? The controllers in Lisbon were really nice to me the other day. Controllers in the Northeast are the ones that are bears. Yeah. Boston got it. Boston Center. Yeah, River, if you like flying a lot of Airbus, you should look into a virtual airline. Unless you're on Xbox. If you're playing Xbox, I don't think any virtual airlines are compatible, unfortunately. It has to do with the ACARS system that they use to monitor the flights. Yeah, I have not gone into JFK on VATSIM. Done LAX. And that wasn't too bad. It's just the controller was busy. But I've done a lot of Boston, New York Center, not so much, but Boston Center and stuff like that. Man, they pick you apart. I almost think it's unnecessary. It's almost like they watched some YouTube videos of the real controllers there and they kind of want to be like them. I don't know if it's the same controller out of LAX, but he's professional. Yeah, he wasn't angry at anybody. Like the Boston guys get angry. New York guys get angry. He was just busy. And even as busy as he was still trying to be accommodating. I actually enjoyed my flights into LAX. Everyone kind of knocks the West Coast. I think it's just the West Coast isn't bad. It's pretty laid back. It's just busy. I almost dread VATSIM when those controllers come on. But yeah, he's got his stuff together definitely for LAX. West Coast, yeah, see, West Coast guys are laid back. Us East Coast guys, we're just angry all the time. I think it's because it's the cold. The cold, miserable weather just makes us angry all the time. Cold and always cloudy. Yep, we don't get enough sun. Not enough vitamin E to make our personalities sparkle. I woke up to snow showers this morning, so the stuff coming in from Chicago has finally reached Philadelphia. So this RNAV approach is pretty confusing, so I just want to get out here. So LPAX down to TNT at 8,000. TG19, TG18. I'm on the north one. This isn't on the charts, as far as I could tell. I wonder if that's going to matter. I actually have the south one up. I have south in the box. I wonder if that's going to make a difference. Doesn't look like it. All right, so I briefed the north. Let me see if there's anything different. No, it doesn't look like it. So 7,000 at TG18, and we just stay at 17,000 or 7,000 until TG15, and then descend in there. So there's not much difference between north and south, other than that extra waypoint, which is this one here. Passive transition level. Get so just out of curiosity, have you gotten a super chat yet? Nah. Nope. No super chats. I've gotten some donations through Buy Me a Coffee. There's a link under. Let me be your first, pushing positive vibes out for a good landing. Oh, well. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Limp. I really do appreciate that. And yes, positive vibes for a good landing. Thank you very much. You are the first. I really do appreciate that. That's awesome. I don't even know if the overlay worked. All right, so let's get that in the game. Kill the music. Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat, Limp, and testing out my super chat overlay. All right, so let's get the. Okay, so I got the flight recorder up. All right, Toncontin traffic, Aeromexico 556 Heavy, descending through 15,400 for the South RNAV 2 arrival. Toncontin. What is there CTAF for? Let's see here. Got all about. No, there's no CTAF. All right. Cool. All right. So head in the game. What are we at? Let's bring this down. Does it look like we're going to be pretty high, though? Go River, you taking off right now? All right. Have a good flight. So TNT, we're on path. All right. So really should slow down, though. Now we're getting high. Bring it down. Bring it down. What's our speed restrictions? All right, it's getting to be a spicy moment. All right, let's slow down to 210. We'll keep VNAV, LNAV in for our descent. Looking good here. I just want to slow up because we're heavy. Yes, I know the speed breaks out. Speed brake armed. Let's go flaps 5. Keep the speed up. My flap thing is busted. Great. It would say speed brake armed, right? All right, there we go. Speed brake arm. Jeez. All right, so landing lights on. Start the recording. I will be ending the stream after landing. We're not doing another leg. Looking good there. Let's slow up. Start getting into landing configuration. River said, hope you get a butter. Well, it'll be nice, but the runway here is so short that I'm just going to plant her. So we're not really going for a butter on this one because it's only 6,600 foot runway in a 777. So decision altitude is 44. Let's do. You're down. So much for. Yep, a little early on the. All right, flaps 30. Gear down. Landing lights on. I actually have track IR, but the reason I don't do it on stream is I feel as though people might get sick. All right. Come on, we need a visual of that runway. It's over here somewhere. This is going to be like a Paro kind of thing where it's all going to be last minute, isn't it? Yeah, I use my track IR when I'm not streaming. I love it. It's so awesome to actually be able to just look around. Especially in these moments when you're trying to search for a runway. So I see the runway. We can... Is this it right here? Is this the airport? Holy Christ. I gotta make that turn. How the heck did they do it? Okay, airport, where are you? Still got a little bit ways to go. All right, we're at decision altitude. That's it, isn't it?
Caution, terrain.
Yeah.
Caution, terrain.
My plane.
Caution, terrain.
Is that the runway? Oh my God.
Caution, terrain. Terrain, terrain, pull up. Terrain, terrain, pull up. Terrain, terrain, pull up. Terrain, terrain, pull up. Terrain, terrain, pull up.
All right, screw stable. There's no way.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Fighter pilot this 730 or 777 in here.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Terrain, terrain, pull up. Terrain, terrain, pull up.
20, 10,
Holy Christ. Well, we're all here to challenge ourselves. All right, I'll break disarmed. Reverser's out. All right. We did it. Did not think we were going to do it. That bank was so steep, I had to throw opposite rudder in to break out of it. I had the yoke all the way to the right. I can see now why this airport is not made for this plane. Oh, we smashed it in here. I'm not. There's no reservations about any kind of butter or anything like that. All right, clean it up. I forgot to make my radio calls. Let's just disconnect from the. That's. Yeah, I was the only one anyway. That was pretty intense. Not gonna lie. All right, we'll stop recording. Catch up on the chat. So, I can't remember, but I think this is the airport that V1 crashed at taking off. I think that was Skibo. I think that was Bogota with the 727. My head tracker would have definitely come in handy with this. All right. Laps in. Oh, right. Yeah, checklists didn't get done. That's okay. Clean up the checklists. The checklists. I can't even talk. All right. Yeah. All right. So let's clean it up. Good. Good. Yeah, I definitely needed eye tracker. What I definitely needed was a smaller plane. Holy hell. I honestly thought we were going to crash because until I needed to kick it full right rudder to bring it out of that turn. That's nuts. Yeah, River. I'm an old guy. I don't really even understand that whole 6-7 thing. One day there'll be multiplayer shared cockpit, and like I said, I'll make a great FO. You would make a great FO. I needed an FO to help me figure out what the hell was going on with my VNAV on departure. We hit something. Probably a light post. We're too big for the. So I read somewhere that I don't know. I think it was the 777-ER that the square footage that you're taxiing around in this plane is that of with the safety margins. It's that of almost a football field. So with the head tracker, I would have been able to lean forward. I could have searched better for that airport or that runway. Probably got a better visual on it. Didn't need to do the whole F-16 maneuver to get in here. So the song is named Doot Doot. Okay. Oh, so it's a song that became a meme, right? So he has to go to work though. All right. You know, you're right. It couldn't hurt. And if it's too much, I can always just shut it off. There's no real heavy terminals here, so we're just going to go here. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Toncontin International Airport in Honduras. All right, brakes on. Oh, you're not going to open a door up, are you? You're not going to, it won't, if I leave the engines running, it shouldn't. Yeah, don't try to figure out the 6-7 thing. It's not worth it. Yeah, don't. All right. I'll leave it out there because I've asked my kids, and I guess my kids are they're like, don't worry about it. All right, so we are here, Aeromexico. We just flew into Toncontin, and it's 777, guys. And let's see what landing rate monitor says. I could put you on. So what we got here, 323 with 1G. 323. You know what? 323 feet with that, I'll take it. That is going to be our Toncontin butter. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so let's see what Volanta says. Volanta 324. 324. So not bad at all. The real thing is going to be to check out that replay. So let's look at that. Let's get in. Turn all the lights back on. All right, engines are still running. Let's now really you're gonna hit that. All right, replay up. All right, so let's run it ahead. This is where I went into looking for airport mode. Let's play from here. So Rivers, I use a free program from FlightSim.to called Flight Recorder. I don't want to look. So Lib says, when you're doing your left turn over the hill on the runway, see how close your wing is to the ground. Yeah. Look, the whole, the whole turn into that runway, we were going to die. So that bare metal really does look, that is definitely a hot livery, man. I'll give it that one. And that's default PMDG livery. All right, so we're still looking. And then I'm going, oh my God, because I'm seeing how close I have to turn into that runway for that for that final approach. So this is decision height back here. Actually, we reach decision height back here. So we're supposed to be able to see the runway from back there. I overturned it. See, I had to kick the rudder to bring it out of that. See how fast we snapped back over? Yeah, we were stable at 50 feet. I gotta see that again. We'll wind that back. We did walk them trucks on, though. Yeah, see, I overshot, kicked the rudder. Perfect landing. You're the GOAT. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Not stable until there. Bang on center line, if I say so myself. Absolutely, River. Absolutely. All right. All right, guys. That's going to be it. I'm going to wind it back. Watch the approach in. I want to thank everyone for watching, subscribing, liking the video. If you haven't done already, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be streaming again next week. We'll do at least one single engine ops. We're going to be in the Bonanza. Considering the weather around up here, it's definitely going to be somewhere in Florida. So until next time, guys, appreciate all the support, all the love. Limp Rocketeer for the super chat. Thank you very much, sir. My hat wasn't on backwards. I tip it to you. And all those that joined in, River, welcome to the channel, and hope to see you guys around. Until next time, this is Virtual Flight Diaries. My name is John. See ya.